Hey kids, welcome back. On this episode of Smith Motorworks, we're messing with the little Firenza again. Kind of a simple task, but something you can mess up if you don't know a few things. If you got a car with a hatchback or a lift gate, like this body style does, you probably got a pair of these holding it up, and they go bad, as the case with our little Firenza here. The good news is two things. One, you can still get them, and probably get them for about anything out there, because this is really kind of a commodity type item. It's size, stroke, in type, stuff like that. So in my career, I've designed machines that have opening doors, and we've used just generic ones, just based on the size and the load that it's supporting. So obviously you can get them for cars, and I got some. The other thing is, it's not hard to do, but I bet you're doing it wrong. There's a step that I've left out, and I'm sure a lot of other people have too, and I'd like you to stick around to the end, and you'll see what it is, and we'll get her done. Let's go. All right. As we discussed, this hatch here, like a lot of cars from there, had a hatchback or some kind of lift back or whatever you want to call it, and they had these lift supports here, these little struts that hold it open, and they eventually go bad, so they need replaced. And this car is no different. It's a '79, and who knows if those are original or not, but they don't last forever, so you need to get them. Luckily, they're still available, but they're pretty easy to do. But I bet you're not completing the job all the way and doing something that's kind of a bad thing. So watch this all the way through, and we'll may learn something here. Step one, you got to get them off of there, and this is heavy enough. This hatch, you can't really balance it on your back and take them apart, because then you gotta kind of fight it to put the ones back on, because the new ones are gonna want to be completely extended, because they work, and the old ones want to be completely collapsed. So you got to support it some way. So what I did is this just a piece of unistrut. You can see I just got it hooked underneath the bumper here. That's if you got a nice car, obviously you'd want to do something that wasn't going to scratch it up, but this is, kind of beat, so I didn't care. It's not really gouging it too bad. This isn't, digging into it, but I put it around that kind of to keep it from popping out, because you definitely don't want this thing falling on your head. Or if you happen to, do something crazy like have your fingers over the edge here, yeah, that wouldn't tickle. You might not be able to count to 10 anymore. So on the bottom, I didn't have exactly the right length I wanted, so I found this old bell housing, and I actually put a bolt into one of the transmission mount bolts, kind of to duplicate what we got on the top end, so it just won't kick out of there. This is heavy enough. I suppose if I ran into it or something, I could knock it loose, but it's pretty sturdy, and I feel safe underneath that. But whatever you do, get it secured to where it won't fall on you, or you don't have to fight it to hold it up. Okay, that's one of the ends there. They both look the same. If you can see, wrapped around there, there's a little C-shaped spring clip, and there's, if you can get in tight to see it, there's actually a little groove on the head of that pivot that the spring clip fits into, and you just kind of push that out of the way. Don't bust your glass. Push that out of the way, and it's just a ball and socket, and it'll come right off of there. So we'll take that off of there, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Don't want this thing to go flying crazy and possibly hit my glass here, but this is what I was talking about. Get that on camera here. Yeah, so it just kind of snaps down over that ball like that. Don't throw these away. I'm not sure if the new ones come with them or not, but hey, you might lose one and need to reuse it. I wouldn't recommend reusing things like that, but why not?
Okay, now, so I only have it supported on one side. You can see it's kind of bounced around here. It's not going anywhere, but that's the reason why you do it. It would have been nice to put it right in the middle, but it my support stand, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. It was kind of kicked a little bit too far back. But if you can do that, do it. I mean, do something inside the hatch even, you know, from the trunk floor back. But here's that little ball stud that goes on there. You can see how that works, you know, it just pivots around there. You know, all we got to do is do that 3 more times, start putting it back on. All right, let's see what these new ones look like. Oh yeah, fancy. Hey, TRW, that's a blast from the past. Yeah, these have been in here for a while. Kind of mummified around this. I was hoping to slide them out of this pouch here. There's a little envelope in the top, but I think I'm just going to have to obliterate it to get them open here. So that's what we'll do. Oh well, they're mine now. Pretty cool. These do have clips on the end. They're a little bit different than the ones that came off of there in appearance, but I am hoping they're the same in function. So let's check it out. All right, you might have noticed, and I think I mentioned it, that the ends of these are slightly different. They still have a spring clip, but it's already on there. You can see the little dimple of it right there. A little bit different shape, but same function. It's going to snap around that ball joint that's attached to, or the ball end of the ball joint that's attached to the hatch and the body of the car. And you know, it's cosmetically a little bit different. You know, this looks really, you know, like a tie rod end or something, pretty much. And it's just that got the same snap going around the other way, actually, to hold it on. Well, I take that back. It's going on to hold it in place. The clips are just a little bit different shape. What is going to help us out a little bit here is I shouldn't have to fiddle with this. These are meant to just kind of snap on to that stud, but in order to make that go a little bit better, I did get the brake clean out and kind of clean those up the best I could, and I'm going to put just a little bit of lithium grease down inside these sockets. Just to, you know, maybe make a little bit smoother action. I don't think that's required, but I don't see the harm in it. I'm going to do it anyway. Something I thought kind of interesting. You know, I mentioned kind of TRW there. If you mess with any engine parts or suspension stuff, you know, they've been around for a long time. But when I flipped it over to look for directions. I saw this on here. I think it says ZF aftermarket. You might have heard of ZF from gearboxes, transmissions, transaxle, stuff like that. But they go way, way back. That's the Z is Zeppelin. And I don't remember what's the chicken and what's the egg in this case, but that's Count von Zeppelin of, the Hindenburg and the big airships and all that. And I believe that, I know that the gearbox side of it was what he had to, swing into action to get the power plants on his Zeppelins moving. So, kind of weird, cool, probably, only useful in a Jeopardy question or something like that, but still interesting to me. So let's get these things snapped on here.
Well, hey, I got excited and I went ahead and put the other side on, and I thought, well, maybe you want to see me actually do it, because it is pretty easy. Two things I want to mention. Well, one for sure. You saw me kind of popping around with this, and I smacked the other side on. Kind of did the same thing. The trim on this whole car, or the interior panels, is, for some reason, the GM red. It may be all red plastic like that. It just turns into like graham cracker texture. It just disintegrates. And this one's no different. But if your car is nice, don't scratch it up or beat it up or anything. Take it off and get it out of the way so you don't break it. Because I'm not going to, but there's little pieces of it that are just falling off because it's just so weak. But it's really as easy as I said. I kind of got to do this crosshand here, but I got it centered over there, and it's on. That was it. So do the same thing on this end. We're a little high on this end, so I'm actually gonna kind of let our safety support down a little bit and get it to where it's closer. Got it lined up over top of that. Same deal. Take our little rubber mallet here. I'm not putting any force on that at all, but let's see if it worked. Well, look at that. Just like magic, folks. So anyway, you think we're done? Not quite. Just got to throw these in the trash can, okay? Please don't do that. Those guys, they're dealing with all kinds of stuff. This is still, a pressurized cylinder to some degree. So let's completely deactivate it and make sure it's safe to put in the trash and nobody gets hurt. And by the way, this is exactly what they're telling you to do in the GM service manual. So I'm going to show you that. So, check it out in yours, or if you don't have one, now you know. Just don't throw these away. Hang around. We're going to make them ready for the trash in a moment. Okay, last step in the process here. What you're looking at, it's just one of the lift supports. It's wrapped up in a shop rag. It's clamped in the vise. Not real tight, but I just want to hold it still. Get your safety specs on. Get you a punch that'll reach down into it. We're going to punch right through the rag and everything, and sharpen it up if it's not already. But we're just going to rupture that tube, and we'll be done. So sit down in there. You hear that?
that's the reason why you do that. So now this probably will collapse. Yeah, look at that. There's like no resistance now because got a big old nasty hole in it. But you know, you'd think you just throw it in the can and I'm done with it. But you know, somebody hits that, they cycle the packer or something on there. This thing blow apart like a rocket or something, and it's just not cool to do. Just like throwing razor blades in there without covering them up. Somebody digs their hand in there, they're going to get messed up. So do the right thing. Bust these things up to where they're kind of deactivated, and then you can just chuck it in the trash, and you're doing the right thing. Magic. Hey, it worked. I love it. Not the hardest task to do, but something a little important about safety and how to dispose of these things properly. I hope you got something out of it. Please do that homework. Like, subscribe, share, comment. That's great. Sure appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time on Smith Motorworks.